Jack Wright, thanks very much for joining us. And in the month, or just at the start of the month, when the under 23 Inter-Service Championship gets underway, as somebody who experienced that last year and the last couple of years, just what does the under 23s mean to you as an individual, but also to players in general across the forces?
Well, for me, it's like a massive stepping stone for first coming into military rugby and then try and develop your way up through the senior team. It's a great way to try and express yourself as a rugby player as well. It's an environment where you can make mistakes and but you still get that uh, like the challenge of having in services rugby. So for me, I think it's really good. Yeah.
In terms of the when you say the challenge of inter-service rugby, how much of a step up is it from other rugby that you played to that point?
It's a completely different ballgame to be honest, because everyone wants to win, and on the day, anyone could really win. It is literally down to 9 times out of 10 who wants it the most on the day, and it's just nitty gritty stuff. And but yeah, it's a serious challenge whenever you play the army or the RAF.
November is one of those interesting months. We don't quite know what kind of weather we're going to have.
Yeah,
We've had significant rain. We've also had beautiful dry tracks. You
yeah.
know, do the players prefer the dry just to be able to express yourselves a little bit more? Do you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think we have been really lucky. October's been really nice so far. I mean, every Wednesday and Saturday we've been playing. It's been really sunny and nice. So, but yeah, definitely holding out for that because it's much nicer to get the better standard of rugby, keeping the ball alive, especially for me throwing in and the scrum halves and stuff like that. It's much nicer, yeah, having a nice dry ball and dry pitch.
Do you think that that's what leads to having such close competitive games? I mean, like last year's championship was decided by fewer than 10 points in terms of
Mm.
the points difference. Is as I say, is that kind of one of the things that contributes to it being so tight?
But the conditions,
Oh, the conditions, but also all the teams having a similar kind of approach in terms of wanting to express themselves and putting the ball through their hands and so on.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Especially because it is a young group of lads playing against each other. Everyone just, everyone wants to fly at it, and I think there is a sense of just send everything you've got there enough on the day. So, but yeah, 100%.
It's a short campaign. The when we'll talk about the full your experience with the full squad last year in a bit, but you come together in September. You've then basically got 2.5 months to
Mm.
get a team culture together. Often
Yeah,
included, because of the nature of it, you're going to have churn of players who are aging out, new
yeah,
players coming in, all at the same time. You're always trying to get your naval career up and running at the same time.
yeah.
How much how do you balance all of those challenges and getting a team and getting a coherent team culture together?
That is probably the hardest part. The hardest part is again because you've got young lads coming through. A lot of them, for us especially, we've got a lot of lads still in phase two, so they're still in training. So it's hard to get them away to come to camps. So like 9 times out of 10, they're released for afternoon training. So when they finish work, or they're released just for game day, and it is really hard. So obviously when we get down to Pompey for the actual IS camp, it'll be much easier because a lot of the boys are based down there. So we'll have like nighttime training, and we'll be able to get involved a lot more. So it has been hard the last couple weeks, but yeah, we're still waiting on a few more boys coming in. But yeah, that is definitely one of the harder parts.
So what's done in practice then to overcome that? Is it as much relying on the inevitable WhatsApp groups and
Yeah, yeah,
online groups as it is in
yeah.
person?
Like our WhatsApp groups, making sure that we're sending in everything that we've took from the day, or passing on messages, new moves, set pieces, stuff like this, and then when those lads do turn up on Wednesday for game day, we literally try fly them in as early as possible. But like I said, when we get down to Pompey, we should have everyone available, so it'll be much easier to run through and get everyone on the same hymn sheet.
Do you envy the coaches having that challenge? Because it can be quite, it's the point of what kind of balance do you have as a coach? Do you put a structure in place? Do you empower people? Do you
Yeah.
nurture and so on? Would you swap places with them at the moment?
Oh no, no. I've seen Prids and all them pulling their hair out about it, trying to get boys off work and boys off ship, and firing constant emails out to try and get people back and stop people going away to sea. But yeah, it's hard because that's what I struggled last year. I didn't get off last year, so I had to bite the bullet and go away and get deployed. And then this year I managed to come back early and play. So
Does it mean more to you then if you're then missing out on again what is a really finite, because I mean a
mm,
finite opportunity, because you could go on and play for the senior squad for 10 years, 15 years, but
mm.
if you come into the Navy at 20 or 21, that gives you only 2 years to be a part of this group.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you do have to cherish it. So this is my third year, and this will be my last year. So obviously I did my first year, missed the second year. So obviously this year, yeah, it definitely means a lot to me for it basically being my last dance for the 23s kind of thing. So definitely want to go out with a win.
The what do you bring back into the squad from last year's into service?
Obviously, it took away a wealth of experience, definitely from being around the boys in the senior squad. Obviously, playing a lot of weekend rugby now as well, which has helped me a lot coming back from deployment. But I come back obviously a bit rusty. I was away for 4 months, didn't touch a rugby ball, so that was kind of the hard part. But coming back in and yeah, basically everything I took from there and the TSG from there, basically implementing the stuff that we do in the seniors back into the 23s. So even some of the boys that get picked up from the 23s when they go up to the seniors are basically just fitting seamlessly, and it's an easy transition.
In terms of that step up, then is that the transition? Is that because of the nature of the game that all the coaches want to play, or is it a combination of that with just with the natural environment that the and culture that the senior squad has as well?
Yeah, the everything is pretty much similar that we do within the seniors, and they do obviously the TSG do keep an eye on the 23s, and we have a lot of the senior players come in and help with the 23s. So in the training weeks, we've had like Ed Pascoe come down, we've had Bezo come down, Joe Toogood and Craig Duncan. They've come in and they've all helped with different scenarios, trying to take the weight load off Prids as well, which has been helpful. But also they're using the stuff that we've taken seniors back into the 23s, again helping the boys that are likely to come up, that it'll be easy for them just to fit right back in.
What was the when you got told that you were going to make your senior debut?
Mm.
What was the feeling like?
Yeah, a lot of people asked me that. Asked me if I was nervous, and I think I was probably too. It was too late for me to be nervous because we'd left it so last minute. I think it was probably like 8 o'clock on the Friday night. I was literally just getting into bed, and then I got a text from Paco saying that I was going to be starting in the morning, and I was literally about to fall asleep. So I was like, it is what it is in the morning. So I just got on with it, and then I had a few nice kind words from Gaz Evans, who's pretty much took me under his wing ever since I come up to the seniors. But yeah, so I got thrown in the deep end, sink or swim, really, and yeah, it went all right.
Have you kept the shirt? Is it framed up at home?
Yeah, it's actually there's one up on the wall behind me there. I've got one framed at home. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And presumably as well for your family must be a really proud moment as well.
Oh yeah, it was great. I'd obviously my local rugby club back at home. They got a bus down, which is probably about 30 of the lads, and then my mum, dad, grandparents, they all came down. So yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
The brings me on to nicely in terms of your rugby journey, and now as you say you're playing more weekend rugby. How did you
Mm.
would what level did you get to before you joined the Navy?
So I joined. So I was at Leicester Tigers Academy from 16 to 18, and then 18 I didn't get a contract, and my godfather is Ash Coates. He's heavily linked with the Navy senior team, and he basically was like, "Look, come join the Navy. You'll play rugby." And at the time, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be in the military. That's not for me." And then he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a go." So 19, I joined the Navy, and then pretty much did my first year 23s. And then when I came to Yeovil, there was Jay Toogood, Chris Mills, and obviously I met Toots at senior camp, and they were basically like coming down to Taunton because it's close to Yeovil. So then ever since then, I've been at Taunton now for the last 2 years, which has been hindered a lot by deployments, being on the frontline squadron. But now I'm back, and I'm not on the front line anymore, so I'll be able to play a lot more weekend rugby, which has been good.
And conversely, now when you are when your colleagues in the squadron know that you are going to be repping the Navy. How much pride is
Mm.
there that they, how, what were the kind of messages that you were getting from them before you made your debut, and then after you did?
Yeah, it was nice. I got quite a few nice messages off my bosses who were in the crowd as well, saying that they'd come along to watch, and they basically let me have the time of work as long as I bring back some stash and a free ticket for next year. That's all they're bothered about. So
The Just looking forward to the next few weeks. Then it's you're at home to the RAF and away to the army.
mm.
The, the Are you expecting much different this year to what was experienced last year in terms of the competitiveness or the closeness, should I say? I mean, games
Oh
won't be
yeah,
competitive, are they?
100%.
But I mean, it's rare that you get games decided by so few points regularly.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think it will be a very hard test both games, and like I said, it comes down to on the day who wants it the most. Obviously, we're going to be fired up for it. We want the win. I'm going to want the win. I'm going to take the boys all the way. So, but yeah, it'll be very tough on the day, 100%.